Hi, I'm Florentino Rodriguez, owner of T-Prep Gym. We are a private lifting club in Pilot Point, Texas. So if you live in Tioga, Aubrey, maybe Denton, Salina, this place is perfect for you. You can start your journey with us by going to tprepgym.com, signing up there, or book an appointment with me. Thank you.
And we are back for episode 26. Is it 26? Yeah, 26. If I'm wrong, he'll update it on the edits here. But welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. This is T-Prep Talk. You can find us on Instagram at T-Prep Talk, or you can follow our gym page at T-Prep Gym on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you name it. Our production is great. We just need more support. So go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube, and we'll continue to dish out good content. In today's podcast, we have a special guest. I like talking to a lot of business owners around the area to see what kind of ideas they have, what they've been through, what made them decide to step into business. Because everybody has to have a moment in life where they basically have an epiphany and they say, you know what, I'm going to take this leap, and whatever happens, happens. Because you got to be a little bit insane to start a business. You can't be completely sane because everybody likes to live comfortable, but you can never prosper from that. So in today's episode, we have Casey.
What's up, y'all?
So I'm gonna let him just talk about a little bit of himself and who he is. So who exactly are you, Casey?
Oh man, there's a lot of layers to that. I'm a career guy. I'm a ex-rock star wannabe.
Ex-rock star.
I've got a lot of layers. I've worked for 3 Fortune 300 companies, so I've had some pretty prominent jobs for pretty prominent companies. Nice. And had a pretty good career. But I took 10 years out after my kids were raised, and I built my career and toured in a metal band for 10 years. So that was kind of cool, and then stepped out and got the job that I'm in now, which is, in addition to being a business owner, I have a full-time job where I sell computers to dental offices. So,
you sell computers?
Right.
Okay, so you're constantly in sales. I mean, business is sales.
Yes.
You play multiple roles when you start a business, and a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people think that whenever you're a business owner, you're just 100% business owner once you make that decision. It's a process, and I recommend you guys who want to start a business, you read the book, Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David, and he explains that, of course, if you don't come from a family that's very wealthy or have a lot of support behind you where they can just fund your dream up front, right? Or let's say that your credit isn't good and you can't get a big business loan, whatever. You have to start from the ground up and you have to work from there, or just take a big risk. So either way, take a big risk on your own personal finances, or you start from the ground up and just build from there. So Casey, did you end up, getting a loan, getting investors, or did you just solely fund it off of your own personal?
Had some minor investment,
Okay.
Very minor, like definitely less than $10,000, which I've pretty much already paid back. A lot of what I've done is self-sufficient. I was able to, which is, what I actually give recommendations to the younger people that I talk to that are trying to open businesses. I got a couple of guys that are I'm mentoring because they want to be in the smoke shop industry. They're in their early 20s, and they want to quit their job. They're quick to want to quit.
Or just jump straight into it.
And, they want that lifestyle that, they don't want to work for somebody else. They want to work for themselves, which is our goal, all of us, I think, obviously. But, for me and a lot of people out there, working that 9 to 5 got me the money to get me where I am now, So, using my job as an investment to my long-term future investment, so working my job to get to my dream, basically, so that's mostly self-funded. I did sell my motorcycle, and
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Traded my pizza oven and did a lot of things, a lot of hustle. I mean, hustle is part of my life, you know what I mean? So this is something I've been wanting to do for years, and had difficulty finding a location. So when I found it, I really didn't have the money to do it. But I just made it happen, sold some stuff, take my personal, savings, and, bought some inventory, got the location, and just started, I won a pizza oven in a sales competition at work, and I traded that for the sign that's on the building, stuff like that. Just,
that's great, man.
Just all kinds of, hustle. If you
using your money in the right places.
For sure, absolutely, and knowing how to take an investment here and turning it into another investment, like via a trade, or
Exactly.
selling some of your equity that you have at home or whatever. Basically what it boils down to is, if you want to make it happen, you'll make it happen. It's got to be
Exactly.
that passion in there for sure.
Yeah, and understanding the value of the dollar, understanding that you can put your money to work for you, just like that pizza oven. You sell it, you got the money, you put it to work for you, right? Now you got a nice sign in front of your store.
For
that
sure.
money you made from that pizza oven is now making you more money, right?
Yep.
And yeah, it was just a great experience, opportunity there for you. But as far as having a job and then having a business, I went through the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. So the first 2 years of starting T Prep, obviously I was 19, right? 19,
damn,
20.
okay.
So my credit was probably like 500, 5 something. I was still building it, right? I was still
Sure.
understanding. And I don't come from, love my family, but I don't come from a family that's like teaching me very financial literacy and understanding business and understanding things like that.
Same.
So I had to learn that as I went, but obviously there was some motivator behind me, and it was motivating. What motivated me was was doubt from other people, and then which caused self-doubt on me. And because I come from the construction space, I started out as a carpenter, and I was doing remodeling for commercial buildings, right?
Right.
So in doing that, it's a lifestyle, right? So whenever you work in a job that's in that industry, as far as I know, you guys drink a lot. We drink a lot of alcohol. We're out in the sun a lot. We go and eat lunch, and there's whatever everybody wants to eat. It could be barbecue every day. It could be Mexican food every day. It could be whatever. Definitely not a clean diet. So
Right.
I was gaining a lot of weight in that time, and then I eventually made a switch because of external forces, and I was like, you know what, it's time to change. And then I went into the fitness space because I loved it deep down. But yeah, starting this business took me working another job because the banks wouldn't give me a loan, right? And I had no investors. No investor wants to invest into a gym. Why? Because it's very, you gotta be a hustler. You gotta be ambitious. You gotta be willing to take whatever to own a gym. It's not very easy.
Podcast, right?
Yeah, you gotta do podcasts, and it's a community. That's what the gym is. Anybody who wants to start a
right.
gym, it's a community. It's not a corporate business. It's all about community and serving the people.
Especially in a small community like this one.
Yeah, very small. I value every single member here. Yeah, I connect with everybody, So, yeah, doing random jobs. I was still in the construction space, and after work, I'll come to the gym. I was doing medical sales. I was doing sales there, and then I'd come straight to the gym. And then eventually, it got to the point where it's like, okay, cool. Now I can focus on the gym, right? But it took a process, and it always takes a process. And so, you are, 1 year into owning the smoke shop, or is it a couple months?
Not even. So November is our start date, towards the end of November after Thanksgiving. So
It's not even a year yet.
not even a year yet. And now we're embarking on, we've done really well. We're the only smoke shop within a 20-mile radius, basically, depending on which direction you come from.
And it's a good one, too.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. We focus a lot, on customer service and quality product, which you've been in the shop. You see, how things are set up. We operate differently from a lot of smoke shops, even though we don't have a lot of competition. We still kind of act like we do, because we want our place to be nice, presentable, decorated, neat, everything set up correctly, price is good, but customer service is a big thing to us. You go into a lot of smoke shops and to vape shops, and they don't act like they don't even really want you there. They don't have a lot of knowledge of the product.
Yes.
The quality of the products are really, really bad. So a lot of our customers can attest to the fact that we really focus on making sure we educate them on what they're buying, and they're buying quality product, and that we have great customer service. So that's a big part of it for us.
Yeah, your daughter works here, right?
Yep.
And she's very knowledgeable.
She's part owner, actually.
Part owner.
Yep.
Wow. So it's a family business.
Absolutely.
That's
yeah.
great.
And her brother is part owner as well.
Her brother too. That's good. Keep it in the family, and it grows through generations. And it all started from Casey taking that leap.
Yeah.
It always starts there, man. Somebody has to take a leap in the family to get
For
something
sure,
started.
yeah. You got to take that leap of faith. The goal here is, so right now I could probably leave my job. In the shop would sustain me. But the goal is to set my kids up as well. I want them to have their own shop.
Yes.
so that moving forward we can open our own shops separately from that, you know, and everybody
Good.
basically trying to set everybody up with the future, you know. So that's why I'm still working the 9 to 5, but you know, I've been there 10 years, so I'm hoping to
10 years.
edge out like in the next few months here.
Yeah. Can you retire there, or like?
I mean, I don't think I can officially retire, but I'm going to anyway.
What does it take? Like it takes like what, 20 years, 25, 30?
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm getting old, but I'm not that old yet. So
No. 'Cause I know some companies.
I'll just let it sit in accrue interest or something for a while. You know?
Yeah. So initially, before you took that leap of faith into the business, were you like, when you got that job, were you like, you know what, I might just stay here. You know, I might just live my life here and focus on other things. This will be my way of income. Were you at a mindset there ever, or was it when you got that job, you were like, you know what, I'm gonna start planning?
With the job my main job. So, like I was saying, I toured for 10 years in my 30s. So
Okay,
I
that's
literally
both.
toured all over and played music professionally.
Yeah.
And then when I left that, I got this job. That was 10 years ago, and in June was 10 years. But yeah, I thought that was what I was going to do for the rest of my life. You know, I was going to retire there. It's a Fortune 300 company. They're real stable. You know, I joke around and say it's the world's largest company nobody's ever heard of because it's just dental. You know, it's called Henry Schein. But yeah, they're super stable. So I planned on being there forever. But you know, as the shop idea started progressing, you know, and then we started seeing how successful it is. Obviously, I'm transitioning into another mindset. You know.
Yeah, that's a good point there. So, you said once the thought started appearing more in your head. So, I've been doing a little bit of research on meditation. I'll tell Adrian about this.
Okay.
So there's a thought behind a thought, right? And then when you allow the thought to enter the forefront of your mind, it becomes very appreciated and it sits there. And if it's a bad thought, you're going to be very stressed. But if it's a good thought, you're going to sit there and think about it and think of more ideas. It's probably going to give you a little bit of dopamine, right? So what I'm hearing is this thought of a smoke shop kept appearing in your mind.
Yeah, for several years.
But what caused this thought?
Well, okay, so there's several layers to that. Obviously, it's a great business venture. You know, it's again not a lot around here for competition, so there was multiple layers to it. You know, it is a business, and the idea behind a business is to make money.
Yes. But
that was not the main goal. I think you kind of know a little bit about my medical history.
Yes.
And I'm a member here at T-Prep. You know, I've never been a runner. You know, him and I were talking about this earlier. I hate running. I wouldn't call myself a runner, but, you know, now I run, you know. And I used to be a heavy smoker and was overweight. And, you know, I have family medical issues, you know, cardiac history, you know.
Okay.
So there's a lot of medical issues there, family, hereditary issues that I have to pay attention to that I didn't when I was younger, you know, especially when I was torn, I was eating really bad, you know, and, you know, not living the best lifestyle, you know. So when I had a heart attack, obviously recently, a major heart attack, I've had several now, but the last heart attack was pretty eye-opening, and it was triple bypass, which they ended up not being able to do because they gave me an IV in the ambulance, and
wow,
it was Thanksgiving before last, and so they gave me an IV in the ambulance, and the normal staff at the hospital wasn't there because of the holiday, and I kept telling the nurses, you know, my arm hurts, you know, it's red, it's kind of sore. Long story short, they gave me a blood infection. So then they couldn't do the triple bypass, so then they pumped me full of antibiotics for a week.
Wow.
And then just put 4 stents in. So I had a 95, an 85, and a 75% blockage. At the time, I was around 235 pounds. You know, I didn't
You
consider
were 235 pounds.
235, yeah. And now I worry about being too light. Remember, I was telling you, like, I'm losing too much weight, you know? So, like,
you must
now
have
I'm down
totally
to, like,
different.
273, you know what I'm saying? So
You 273?
or 173, my bad.
I was like,
yeah,
man,
170,
got a whole bunch of muscle.
173. Like
Bone
solid
density.
muscle.
Yeah.
No, for sure. But yeah, so I lost a lot of weight, stopped smoking cigarettes, and started vaping. And you know, again, we were kind of talking about this before we started, but you know, the science hasn't completely come back on vaping, but you know, it contains a lot less additives. You know, the pesticides, the tar that the cigarettes produce. You know, it's all eliminated from vaping. So that was a big motivator for me is offering a healthier alternative to smoking. You know, because I personally have been through the smoking experiences and the health issues that come along with it, and not smoking and being conscious of what I eat and, you know, working out here and running every day as much as I can, you know, it's made a huge difference in my life. My blood pressure used to be like every day, cardiac level.
Well, not to cut you off here, but what were you smoking before?
Cigarettes.
Just cigarettes. That's what you were mainly smoking. So you're a big smoker.
Well, you know, I smoke other things as well. But, you know, cigarettes was the negative thing that I really cut out of my life and replaced with vaping.
Okay.
And, it's made a huge difference. You know, like I was saying earlier, you know, I can run now. I can breathe. You know, I feel healthy. You know, before, you know, I'd wake up hacking. I couldn't run. I couldn't breathe worth this, you know.
Okay.
So
how many packs a day or how many cigarettes a day?
I was a 2 packs a day guy.
2 packs a day.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I would literally wake up, smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. Smoke a cigarette.
What was it? Was it just addiction, or what? Did it give you a cool mind, or what?
Mainly addiction, I think. You know, like we were saying earlier too. You know, I'm 48 now today. Actually, officially 48 today. You know, my generation growing up, it was kind of normal to smoke.
It was cool, right?
You know, it was cool. It was normal. You know, everybody was doing it. You know, but generations before mine, it was just like part of life, like society. You know, they smoked on airplanes and shit. You know, and
I think I've seen even babies smoke too, right?
Like the Flintstones, bro, when they first came out, like way before my time even, like Fred Flintstone used to chain smoke, you know what I'm saying? So like, you know, growing up in my generation, that was common, you know, and now it's more looked down upon, which is great. You know, again, you know, vaping is looked down upon too, but, you know, again, not quite as much as cigarettes. And there's a reason why, you know, as a business owner, I offer a few packs of cigarettes there because I have customers that insist I have them. But other than that, I don't sell them. But, like, the taxes are ridiculous, you know, and there's a reason for that. Because the government wants you to not smoke, and they're taxing cigarettes. So if I go buy $80 worth of cigarettes, my taxes are like $70.
Wow.
Yeah. But on vaping, you know, products, it's not like that.
Okay.
You know, I pay normal taxes or, you know, whatever.
And now what about cigars? Because I smoke cigars like once a week.
Yeah, cigars aren't taxed like cigarettes are either. So cigars are a little bit more regulated. You know, they're still probably the most caustic thing I offer in my store, to be honest with you.
Is it true that you said that, well, no, you didn't say that, but is it true that one cigar is like 10 cigarettes?
I mean, I don't know. As far as nicotine content, yes, of course, because of the amount of tobacco that's in it versus a cigarette. You know, just quantity over quality, right? You know what I'm saying? But the thing with cigars is it's less caustic as opposed to a cigarette. Not saying that it's less caustic, but, you know, it's still caustic. But you're not inhaling a cigar. You're not supposed to inhale cigars. So if you're inhaling your cigars, don't do that, by the way.
I've been doing a little
you're
too
more
much.
than just get the flavor of it. Now you will still get nicotine in your system, obviously, and you're still susceptible to like mouth cancer, throat cancer, or whatever. Still, you know, so you know, I mean,
it's kind of like the whole like chewing tobacco thing. It's just getting that tobacco around your mouth.
It still gets in your blood system, you know. You're still getting in your system, so it does have more nicotine, but you're not probably inhaling as much as you would with a cigarette. So you're probably not intaking at quite as much nicotine. But you know, I'm not a scientist, you know, guys. So you know, that's again like with me trying to open another smoke shop here in town, for example. You know, I was on the front page of the newspaper last week, I guess it was, because the city council refused me again. They want me to open, because I want to open an entertainment pavilion as well that has like mini golf and cornhole and fire pits and just, you know, somewhere. Yes, I've been trying.
We need that out here.
But here's the thing, and I can do that now. Yeah. And I can open a cigar lounge and add the entertainment pavilion, so I can sell cigars anywhere in town that I want to. But if I want to introduce CBD or nicotine vapes, one of the two, not both, but one of the two, it classifies me as a smoke shop, and they've got an ordinance that keeps me out of town. So they want me to open a cigar lounge, and I keep telling them that's the most caustic product that I have in my store, and that's the one that you're allowing me to sell. You know, one of the least regulated actually as well, as far as like compared to some of the Delta and stuff, which is very heavily regulated, very heavily tested. You know, the Delta, the CBD, I have lab results for everything that I sell in my store. So if somebody wanted to see lab results for one specific product, I could produce that. I mean, it's regulated, we're licensed. And the big problem we have, like here, with with the stigma, I guess, that comes along with it is like these gas stations are selling, like one of the gas stations in town got raided twice this last year, once for selling vapes with no license. And the second time, the same gas station was raided, and the owner went to jail for selling to minors.
Oh wow.
You can't come in our store unless you're 21. So
Wow.
there's a lot of negative stigmas about smoke shops that we're really trying to change. But that's just it's a slow process.
Yeah, but keeping that as like your forefront, your foundation, what you push, and it's basically like setting your principles for your store, and your principles and your morals are to change that, have a better outlook, and then as long as you keep that in your forefront of your mind, and as far as you moving forward in business, I think that's going to take you a long way.
Yeah.
Because there's something about people who shake hands and look people in the eye and show up on time, right, and give it their all. Those people go a long way. And I think when you're doing business in a positive manner to help people out, then you're going to go a long way also.
Well, one thing that we're doing right now, and actually the newspaper here in town offered me an article, which I'll probably start doing an article, is we're going to start trying to campaign awareness to parents, which we did recently. I don't know if you've seen it on Facebook or not, but we've got one post that's blowing up that we're educating people as to what products are out there on the market that could be deceptive. So, for example, like this one, I've got 174 reactions on idle chatter, but this is basically a highlighter here. Looks just like a highlighter. It says highlighter on it. But if you pull the cap and the tip out, it's a nicotine vape. So, what we're trying to do is help educate people and parents as to what to look for when it comes to these new products so that they can help keep their kids from vaping. Because, one of our goals is to help keep these products out of children's hands, and I know that's a big concern of the community.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is posting
I'll put
stuff,
that in the post after.
posting some things like this so that we can help educate people as to what to look for as a parent. If you've got a concern that your kids are doing things,
Yeah.
these are things we recommend you look for. These are products that are out on the market that are extremely concealing, So
You see that, a business that cares, right?
yeah, for sure. And again, it's just it's changing that narrative, the negative narrative behind a smoke shop or behind an establishment like ours.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to do, but
Yeah.
we can do it a little bit here and a little bit there, and it's not something we're trying to do overnight. We'll get there with everybody eventually.
I feel like we learned a lot about cigarettes and cigars, and a little bit about the smoke industry, and so when I cut you off there, I still kept a tab on there. So you said your heart rate's a lot better now.
Yeah, my blood pressure's great.
Blood pressure's great.
Mm-hmm.
And so from there, where are you now? Like,
Well, you mean as far as
are you
my health?
Yes. Are you still running?
Yeah, the last month or so I haven't really, so I need to get my ass back in here, to be honest with you. But I've been working on launching the mobile unit, which I guess maybe we'll show here in a minute or whatever. So that's since I've had such a hard time finding a second location, I've launched the mobile unit, and that's really been dedicating a lot of my time, or taking a lot of my time. But no, I need to get back in here and start getting back on it. I usually try to run and work out at least 3 days a week.
You're at a point in your journey here from recovering from a heart attack that you are able to lift heavy weights, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, they told you it's fine. You're
Yes,
good to
absolutely.
go.
I've gotten full medical clearance. Yeah.
Okay, but do you still kind of have a little bit of hesitation?
Oh, for sure.
Like, I'm not gonna go too hard here. I'm not gonna go crazy.
Yeah, well, for sure. I guess it's kind of a goal. Like, I'm still kind of, I think I had talked to you about it once, like when I was talking about losing too much weight. Like, I don't want to be too small, but I don't want to be too big either. So right now I'm trying to find a happy medium, I guess. So, a little bit less running maybe, a little bit more heavy lifting. And we were talking about doing 1 month of heavy lifting and then 1 month of lighter lifting. Is that what you were recommending to me, right?
So, quick fitness tip, right?
Okay, cool.
Later on in the video, we usually do this at the beginning of the video, which I forgot. But quick fitness tip. I'm going to answer this question for KC, but I already answered it for him earlier. But when you're structuring out a fitness program, right, for your goals, you got hypertrophy, you have endurance, and you have strength. Hypertrophy is obviously 8 to 15 reps. That's the most popular one. And then you have strength, and that's 4 to 6 reps. And then you have endurance, and that's 20 plus reps. Now, how you want to cycle this, and this is what I do for my clients, is I usually have 1 month of strength, right? 1 month of endurance, and 1 month of hypertrophy. And then we completely cycle it, and we see how that's going, and maybe we might do 2 months of hypertrophy, 1 month of endurance, or 2 months of strength, and 1 of hypertrophy. So structuring out your workout program and cycles is very important for you to hit your fitness goals. And stay tuned to the end of the show, because we're going to give you guys a tour of, not yet finished, but it's going to be. He's got to get it wrapped, right?
Yeah.
We're going to give a tour of his new mobile van that he'll be going to Fort Worth, Dallas, wherever,
Denton,
right?
yeah, we pretty much got clearance in most parts of Denton already. We're working with Fort Worth and Dallas now.
Okay. So can you go outside of the state or only in Texas?
We'll probably keep it within the state, but I have considered looking into that because I'd like to go to the casino. So I will probably be reaching out. I might have to get an out-of-state license to do that, though. So that's on the plans, yeah.
Yeah. So
And nobody can take that. It's his trademarked ideas, by the way.
the casino, huh? So you're gonna have to go talk to the reservations owners, right?
Yeah. I don't know what that path is gonna look like yet, but I'm gonna go down it, of course. Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those, like, you got to know the code. Like, you ask for a certain name. Like, I want to see, El Jefe, right?
Okay.
And they're like, and they start asking you questions. Then you start moving down the chain of line, chain of command, and then you finally get to the top guy. So,
Yeah, that office up at the top of the casino.
Yeah. So
hey, if I can make it in there, we'll be doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be doing all right.
So I'm be interested to hear the story of how you got to talk.
I've been right now we're just like, if anybody's got any events out there, let me know, because like we did our first event was last weekend. We did a rave in Arlington with like 9 DJs, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty dope.
I gotta hang out with you more, man.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. We hit our minimum too, so it was our first day out in it, and we had like a minimum goal, and we hit it. So I was pretty excited about that. It was pretty good.
See, man, you're a hustler, man.
Gotta hustle. Yeah, nobody else is gonna do it for me.
No, like,
you know what I'm saying?
Let's say KC decides one day, I'm gonna take a week off, right? Or I'm gonna stop working hard.
I don't know if I could do that.
Well, if you did, then the smoke shop, I'm sure your kids are pretty good, right?
Yeah.
But like,
100%.
I feel like it's gonna be a big missing piece of the puzzle, and that's KC, right? So like, you have to be on the grind, you have to be on the move, and us entrepreneurs like that pressure on our back.
Yeah, for sure. I thrive on it, man. And like, what I'm getting to right now is where Kayla, especially, she's here full time. She's been at the shop since the beginning, so she's sustainable there. Yeah. So what that's doing is it's giving me the ability to sit in the background and work on the next venture.
Yes.
And start, blowing things up. And now we're doing that with the van, and then my son's gonna move out here permanently in like less than 2 weeks now.
Nice.
And then he'll take over the brick and mortar in Tioga.
Good.
And then Kayla's going to take over the van. But I don't want her out there driving around by herself, so we'll have to like figure out how to do a team there. But
And do you listen to Nipsey Hussle?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
The one line that always sticks with me, and it's "I don't stress out." That song, "I don't stress out."
Okay.
And he says, weight on my shoulder brings the best out, and that just sticks with me. And when I have like a lot of pressure on my shoulder or a lot of stress on me, I'm like, weight on the shoulder brings
you can't
the
get
best
too
out.
Comfortable.
Yeah. It's like, well, you're just challenging me to go harder, and that's your mistake. That's how I see it.
Okay, bet.
Yeah.
100%.
And so, how was that work? Doing tours for rock, right?
Oh, it was crazy. I partake in, I'm a smoker, 420 friendly, but the biggest thing about being in the band and being on tour was, the stuff that was happening around me for a long time. Like I said, I did that for 10 years, and I was able to keep my distance from most of it. But that's hard to do in an industry like that, Oh, yeah. So, like, the biggest thing for me was like just, I'm a corporate guy. I worked 2 Fortune 300 companies before that, like, big companies. So I was just like looking forward to getting back to people showing up on time every day. I mean, just like I couldn't wait to go to work and know that all my coworkers were going to be there when they were supposed to. Like in the music industry, nothing is stable. The musicians especially, but like the promoters, the managers, the labels. I mean, you can't count on anybody. like to be on time and dedicated and do what they're supposed to do.
So you got one structured area of your life, and then you got one just
chaotic. Two sides of my world, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Which helps me a lot in balancing business and work and everything, you know, because there's always that, you know, in life you've always got that chaotic side, you know.
Shoot, I do.
Yeah.
You got So what did you play?
Guitar, lead guitar.
Lead guitar.
Yeah.
Nice. So would you have some solos sometimes?
Yeah. I have a lot of solos. Yeah, I was the only guitar player in the band, so.
Now, what do you think about Guitar Hero?
Oh, it's not like playing guitar at all. Yeah, I know. It's more like playing drums on a guitar thing.
Oh.
You follow more of the beat.
Was that a shot to drum players or what?
No. I'm just saying, like, when it comes to like actually playing guitar,
yeah.
You know, on Guitar Hero, if you pay attention to what you're doing, you're technically kind of following the beat. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're not really playing strings and stuff and following string notes and stuff, but it's a little different. So like when we used to play in the band, like we had this real big studio, like 20-foot ceilings and stuff, and we had a projector. And all the guys would play Guitar Hero, like the singer and the drummer, they were killing it. You know, I get on there, I was like, bing, bing, bing. It's
like, give me a real guitar. Yeah. I'll show y'all something.
yeah. But man, I was, you know, what was cool for me as a musician, man, is like, really, I felt like I had made it when I was getting my endorsements from big companies. Like, you know, like I was endorsed by like PV. You know, everybody's probably heard of PV. If not, you know, it's like biggest amp maker, you know, one of in the world, and like Marshall and Ibanez. So like when I started getting sponsored by those kind of companies, like I felt like, you know, like that was what I had dreamed about since I was a teenager. You know, like, man, I wish I could be sponsored by PV, you know. And the cool thing about it is Mr. PV himself actually has a picture of me in his office on stage because of my PV amp guitar or tattoo. There's a picture of me with my foot up on an amp, and it's got the tattoo.
Nice.
So he has that hanging up in his office. I'm like, oh man, I could quit right now and feel like I made it. You know?
You see, and he took that to heart because PB was once just an idea to him.
Hey, he started in his garage, right?
It's like the smoke shop. It's like the gym. Like all this is once an idea, and then when we see like other people are being impacted by our ideas, which we do these things because we want to impact the community in a positive way. So that I can see why he would hang up that photo of you in the PB there, because that's nice. That's nice.
It's pretty dope, right?
Yeah, and so I know the life of a rock star is it's crazy, right?
Hectic. Let's call it hectic.
Okay. Hectic. Is there any stories that come to mind that you just can't forget, and they're positive? You know, nothing too.
Man, I don't know, man. I mean, as a musician, I think my most favorite memory, was when I was with not the band that really made it, but the band before that. Because when I first started playing music again, my ex at the time bought me a guitar when I was like 30. Okay. So I played my teenage years. Like I was real serious. I'm kind of like naturally talented. Like I put a lot of effort into it, but like, you know, I'm really like God-given talent, you know, not a lot of people can really just pick it up and play like, you know, I did. Yeah. So, you know, I really embraced it in my teenage years, but in my early 20s, I started having kids. I had Kayla, you know, and had to start my career, and then her brother came along and just worked on building my career and, you know, raising my family. And like when I turned 30, I think 29, 30, their mom bought me a guitar and I started playing again. And then a friend of mine brought this kid over at the time. He was a kid to me. He's younger than me. And his dad had MS. So he couldn't play. His dad was a professional guitar player when he was growing up, but he wasn't able to play anymore. So he used to come over and like bug me, like teach me how to play guitar. So he took me on as like a father figure, you know what I mean? So he would bug me, like show up every day, like teach me, him and his friend. So I would be teaching him guitar and would just be like writing songs while we were doing it. And his friend was like, oh, I want to get a drum machine. So we'd be in the garage and he was like playing the drum machine and we're over there playing guitar. And then my wife at the time, her coworker was like, I used to play drums. And then like, oh, that's cool, man. You should, you know, you ever get a drum kit, let me know. And then like a week later, he's like, hey, I got a drum kit. So then the guy playing the drum machine started singing.
Okay.
So long story short, we had a band, right? So we started playing, you know, like little tiny, you know, venues and
oh, good.
And just having fun, you know. just, like literally writing songs and just screwing around in the garage.
Yeah.
And so we had a show in Dallas at the Curtain Club.
Okay.
It's not open anymore, but Curtain Club used to be a big deal. It's got the big curtain,
Yeah.
and it's got an upper level. Big bands play there. So
It's
we
all
were-
started in the garage.
we all started in the garage.
Okay.
Yeah. So we played a Wednesday night at the Curtain Club, bands that are just get started. Like, oh, we'll let you play Wednesday and see how you do. So like all of our friends and family members and stuff came. So we drew like 80 people on a Wednesday, and they were like, oh damn, that's
Still good.
crazy. That's
Yeah.
great. They were blown away. We were nothing. We just had people there supporting us because
Yeah.
it was our first show-ish. Well, we impressed them so much that they called us and asked us to open up because they had a cancellation. They're like, hey, we got a cancellation for this band called Fair to Midland.
Mm-hmm.
They were huge back in the day. They were signed by Sony. You know them?
Yeah.
Okay.
What the?
No, yeah, they're big time, And so they were like, well, we need you guys to open up for Fair to Midland. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. I didn't know what really to expect, And so we get to the Curtain Club, and it's packed to capacity, upper decks packed, lower
Yeah.
decks packed, standing rooms like shoulder to shoulder. And
Wow.
man, I was like super nervous.
I bet.
Super nervous, and I'm like, the curtain's closed, because normally like on a Wednesday and stuff, they don't close the curtain for you,
Yeah.
When you're nobody, they don't close the curtain. So, the curtain's closed, and I'm back there behind the curtain, and I'm like, oh, God, man, I'm nervous. I never played a show like this before with this many people.
Yeah.
And I'll just never forget that when that curtain opened up, like something came out of me, man. And I was like,
Oh, you ready to go?
I was so nervous. And it was just like a different, like I always said that I was a different person on stage, like a
Yeah.
different persona completely. Like, I wasn't me
Nice.
anymore,
Good.
So that was the moment that I realized that I had that other persona, because
Yeah.
I was back there shaking in my boots. But when that curtain opened up and I saw those faces, I was like, let's go.
That's nice, man. Now, I mean, and you lived a life.
I've had a pretty crazy life, yeah.
I know ours. I feel like it's just getting started.
Okay.
But we got to do some stuff like you do, man.
Okay, bet.
Like put like I said. What podcast was this? I think this was like 2 months ago. 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, I think.
I said something about putting yourself out there, right? Investing your time as if it's money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you invested your time in life experiences, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it developed who you are today. And
Right.
Yeah, so you wouldn't want to take any of that time that you had back.
No, I think about that a lot. I would change some things.
Yeah.
But, then again, if I did, would it make me the person I am now,
Yeah.
So everything happens for a reason. I'm not a real religious person. I mean, I'm a religious person, but I'm not like, preaching all the time, whatever.
Yeah.
But, I believe God's going to put me where I need to be,
Good.
and I think everything happens for a reason. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't take anything back.
I said on my last podcast, I said knowledge produces principles, and principles establish morals. And I said morals are constantly changing through life experiences, right? So as we close this podcast, is there any tips that you can give to people as far as the principles and morals, or what advice you can give to somebody who is just starting out, maybe in the rock space, maybe in the smoke space, or maybe just starting out in life and trying to figure out what to do?
Oh man, take risk and be true to yourself. There's a balance in life where you can choose to follow someone else's path or follow your own. And following someone else's path is usually going to be the most stable path. But don't look back and regret that you didn't try something later in life, because that's always been my biggest fear, is that if I didn't go out there and utilize my talent for those 10 years of touring, I would have looked back now or later and said, I should have done that, because I had that talent. I should have utilized that. So I guess that's kind of the way I've lived my life, is just fear of missing out later. I don't want to look back later in my life and go, I should have done that, I should have done that. And my biggest fear is that I've spent my whole life making somebody else money, while they just give me some chump change, So, I mean, no risk, no reward.
Exactly. Yeah.
Period.
Now, there is a dynamic of, because obviously you're going to have some employees later on down the line. There is a dynamic of you know, respecting that individual that puts you in that position. Like, they gave you that opportunity, that position, right? Yes, you want to get out of it. You want to get out of being an employee or whatever, 9 to 5. But there is a dynamic of respecting that person who took the risk, right? Took the risk to establish what there is there. But if you have something that's in you that you want to do something bigger, then obviously, yeah, take that risk. Because you say you're spiritual, right? And I believe, you know, if you're spiritually connected, and, you know, there's people out there who live very, very down, right? Like, they're always down, depressed, whatever. And I believe it's because they didn't take the risk they wanted to.
Right.
So now they're living their life with, I should have. So just using that example, I use people like that as an example when I try to uplift people. And no matter what age you are, I think you can do anything unless you're probably like 80 years old. And it's time to hang it up. But unless you're not 80 years
relax
old,
at that point.
if you're not 80 years old, man, you're good to go. Take the risk and see what happens. So, guys, stay tuned. This was a great conversation with Casey. And if you guys live in the area, go to his smoke shop. I'll let him explain exactly where it's at. Where's the address? What town?
Tioga, Texas, 201 South Ray Roberts. You can't miss it. It's right on the highway next to the donut shop. Everybody likes donuts, right?
Yeah, I try to stay away from them.
Me too, but yeah, we still like them.
Yeah. And is there any socials they can follow you on?
Go check out our website. It's Smoking Vapes. It's smokingwithnogtx.com. Our mobile menu's on there, and pretty soon I'm going to try to, well, I guess we'll just unveil it here. I'm going to be redoing the website and releasing a online order for customers within a 5-mile radius. So we'll be doing deliveries soon, too.
Oh, deliveries.
So stay
Nice.
tuned for that. You know, if you got a chance you can't get out of the house or whatever, we can run your product by there. So we'll keep you updated on that as we go.
I got to check how far it is from here because sometimes
5 miles.
It's 5 miles from
5
here?
miles. Well, probably 5.3 from right here.
Let's see.
No, I'm just kidding.
Nope, you got to go pick it up, man. Smoking vapes. All right, directions. 5.3.
Damn.
5.3.
Hey. Right, on the dot.
I guess I don't make the cut. I'll be driving up there. Well, guys,
I'll make an exception for you, brother.
I appreciate it.
You drop my membership. What was it? What is it? $20 now? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you guys, stay tuned. We're gonna go ahead and show you how his van looks now, but it's gonna continue to get better. Let's go.
All right, let's go.